Hello. Been a while since I've done a video like this. Where have I been? Well. I finished the story of Grungli, and trust me, it was epic and cool. And I skipped all the way ahead to the end because my desire to play the game outstripped my desire to edit the videos. And then, for some reason, my laptop kicked the bucket at the same time as frying my hard drive, which is fine because I had backups online, and then I downloaded the videos from my Google Drive, and they were all corrupt, which sucked. I basically lost the entire adventure, which was very disheartening. So I instead decided, I just needed to stop because I was stressing out about it too much, which is silly, given my limited subscriber count. But it was a real bummer. And I ended up playing more games just by myself on my own because I like playing the games. But every time I played a game, I'd finish it, and the same old thought would come back going like, oh, that was a really fun game. That was a really cool story. It's a shame no one's ever going to hear about it. Which just kind of ate away at me. So, yeah, it was a pity because you guys didn't get to see a lot of the cooler stories. Cooler stories like this one, where I played a second game of Lichdom with a new Lich who was very bloodily minded. He's down here in the Red Wastes. But that guy he started down here in the city of Empty Sleep, which if you've been watching the video, you'll know is where Holwedja and the hippie dwarf who had a nice relationship with spirits came from. And he travelled up to Knoll, up to Kerrifin, he travelled all the way through the wastes, found some swamps up north. It was a pretty wild ride, and he was sworn to Urabel, the serpentine, stealthy, I'm gonna lie to you, god. But he had more balls than the Arch Sorcerer did, because he actually cancelled his allegiance to that god and became a follower of one of the new ones, the undiscovered gods that we found out, called Satan. Not Satan or Saturn. Satan. Very important. A headless god of blood that demanded sacrifices and such. And that was really great, because by the end of it, Urabel, when he betrayed him, had cursed him with memory loss. By the end of it, even though he had all of the aces that he needed to do, when he went to cast his ritual, his memory loss obviously kicked in because he became a wraith. And now the Red Wastes, the whole area of the Red Wastes is kind of an untrodden land because the spirit of the Lich has dispersed among all the sands and now drains the soul of anybody who goes in. So caravans are really rare here, and they tend to try and travel through it as quick as possible because lingering in the Red Wastes at all is just going to cause you a slow death. So you didn't get to hear any of that story because I didn't record it. And you know what else you didn't hear? You didn't hear any of the Ironsworn stories either. You didn't hear the story of Li Mei, who's actually occupying these mountain range. It actually sucks because I think I drew that map on a different bit of paper because I wasn't caring about recording this because I was doing something I'd given up. But that was a really cool story too. We discovered over here to the right of Jager's Bay, which is this islet to the northeast of the Bleak Plains. There's a second group of dwarves. They're also sworn to Baal Ubel. That was the name of the one. They're also sworn to Baal Ubel, and they kind of control this metal trade. And all around their all around their mountain kingdoms are these Mongol nomad tribes, of which Li Mei was one. And they kind of fight each other and vie for power and try to trade with the dwarves, because if they can get steel from the dwarves, they'll become chief of chiefs among the Mongol hordes. So the dwarves just sit back and basically make a living with their superior armaments. And Li Mei got a quest to go find this creature that was sucking blood, and she discovered it was actually this the hopping vampires from Japanese mythology, or was it Chinese mythology? One of the mythologies that hop around and basically act like European vampires, but they're kind of weirder. And she died. She died so fast. She was killed like by banners before she even got to the first quest point. That was a very quick game. So you didn't hear that one either. You didn't hear the story of Yori. I don't remember if that was his name or not, because I don't have the notes from that game with me, because I didn't record them. But the guy from Thorn Hall, he was trying to... This whole waterway was completely frozen solid, which was actually a scheme by the Dark Elves, who were trying to control all the lands up here, and they were making pacts with the giants up north. They were pushing the orcs down towards the Wolf Shrine down the bottom here, which Yori didn't get to, but Esker did in a later episode. He goes to the Sea Queen's Shrine, who is a god of the humans of the north. Loses his dog in the process, but manages to pay homage to the Sea Queen, and all the ice breaks up and turns back into oceans, and manages to secure Thorn Hall. He goes through a bunch of... He gets another quest from Thorn Hall to try and go and investigate. He's kind of becoming the god speaker of this clan, little by little, as he's doing these quests. And finds out that the giants of the north are forging an alliance with the Dark Elves from the west, from this guy's perspective. And to deal with that, he goes to Aden, which is this like tiny little fishing village. It's full of like half orcs and half humans who tell him, if you travel north, you can go find the giants, but don't go past the boundary markers, which are a line of trees across the giant lands. And what the trees are, they've got like a hanging man from his foot everywhere, basically saying, don't come north. If you're north, you're basically food. So of course, he goes north. And he manages to fight a giant in a duel, naked, and win, which gets him a audience to the giant queen at the hanging tree, which is this like Yggdrasil, massive, frozen dead oak tree with all these people hanging from their feet, all dead. It turns out the giants are actually suffering from an illness. Later on, it becomes known that it's actually caused by the arch sorcerer. He's trying to get a bit of influence in the giants, saying, "Well, I can cure you from this disease that someone gave you if you do my bidding." Fortunately, Yori, who is not Yori, discovers this, finds a way here at the pools of forbidden souls. That's cool. Pool of forbidden souls, discovers an artifact which he takes back to the giants, helps them cure them of their sickness, and in so doing he starts to form an alliance against the Dark Elves. And he ends up traveling south again. He discovers Flat Rock, Bleak Rock, neither of which I'm particularly interested in helping him. He does win them over eventually because they're both having problems with the Druid's Grove far to the south. And it turns out these are wood elves from way back when we were creating this map. Even further back than this map. Further back than the Arch Sorcerer game. Where are you? This one. This map. Right here. The League of Method map filled with the Wood Elves that exists here. I never made a name for this one. I should make a name for that one day. But this guy comes from the city way over here and he travelled all the way up north and started a Druid's Grove, where he's trying to protect the forest from the locals. And as a result, Yori manages to secure kind of a peace treaty between the Druid Grove and Flat Rock. Bleak Rock never really joins, but with Flat Rock and the Druids in hand, he manages to successfully become the chief of Thorn Hall and create an alliance to fight off the Dark Elves. And that's where his story ended. Which you also didn't hear, because I didn't write it. But then I played Esker, another game that you didn't hear, another Ironsworn game, because Ironsworn is just a great game, and everyone who likes role-playing games should play Ironsworn. Seriously. She started out, she had kind of a similar adventure to him. She was trying to find her sister, and they had warnings that there was a dwarf sorcerer causing problems. Her sister had gone missing, her sister's useless husband had basically given up all hope. So she mounts her mountain lion, which she has, to 1, go find her sister, and 2, try and negotiate with the Arch Sorcerer. She wasn't trying to destroy him, she's trying to figure out who he was. They think he was the Arch Sorcerer and is following in his footsteps. Travels up north and immediately loses the mountain lion, calls a troll, which is one of the toughest monsters you can fight in Ironsworn. Happens to be the first encounter she does, because I like to random things. I am Joe Random. I am Matt Random. Following that encounter, she ends up being enslaved by a dark elf like raiding party that is traveling around, because there's orcs and dark elves all through these hills now as they're pushing westward. She manages to escape. She manages to grab a wolf that they had. They had these like demon wolfhounds, and she manages to ride it. They break them in, so it wasn't too much of a problem. And they chase her using the if you recall, like the dungeoneering rules, the enemy rules, nemesis rules. They chase her all the way through the frozen steppes, all the way to the Wolf's Plain, where eventually she manages to lose them. And here on the Wolf's Plain, she discovers her sister, or the remnants of her sister, because the arch sorcerer the arch sorcerer has been through this location, and everywhere he's gone, he's just turned everybody into the undead. She discovers her sister half frozen in the lake. There's symbols around. She can tell from the tracking that of what has actually happened. And there she successfully found her sister. It's not what she wanted, but she achieves the quest. And her main quest changes from finding the Arch Sorcerer to ending the Arch Sorcerer, and it actually increased in difficulty, I believe. To that end, she decided to follow the tracks, which led to the Ashen Weald. It's kind of a boggy, foresty, thorny, very hard to navigate swamp area, where she discovers two orcs that she manages to befriend when she saves them. One is a Cirrus, the other is the Cirrus's husband or mate, who is really, really sick. He's just full of plague. Transpires that they were the chief and the priestess of one of the orc clans who were betrayed by their fellow orcs. Cast out, they're all gathering up here near the Sundered Pass, and there was a name for that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Here, the Fell Glen, which is an old elvish tower, just north of the Wolf's Plain. And when they get there, there's this massive orc encampment. In exchange for guiding them there, Eska agrees to help the dwarves kind of destroy their old clans. She finds these old plans. She finds this artifact that belonged to whatever the Arch Sorcerer that came through. And as she's leaving, all hell just breaks loose. The orcs discover that the mate's been killed. They are currently going on a purge of all the weaker orc clans, because I kind of took a thing from D&D and said that all the orcs have their war wagons, and on her way through, Eska had sabotaged a couple of them. So without their war wagons, there were nothing, and all the other orc tribes were descending upon them. Chaos ensues. She manages to make an agreement with the clan that betrayed the Cirrus and her mate. That old chief had died, and the new chief decided to agree with the Cirrus and Eska to basically get the hell out of Dodge. So they travel all the way back down to, what was it, Clawpine? Their village, Eska's village. And the village is not keen on having an orc horde come in, so in order to prove the value of the orcs who are going to stay and camp outside the village, Eska needs to try and stop another threat, which is the Troll King, as he is called, is trying to form an agreement. It's basically the same deal as Yori's. The Troll King is making an agreement with the Dark Elves to side with them. Eska goes on an adventure, kills the Troll King, replaces him with another troll that she can do business with, and an agreement is held with everybody, and it's all going well. We get they're all in camp, they're looking at this artifact that Eska brings out. Everyone's gathered around, and just the worst rolls possible happen. The artifact opens up, and this giant flippin' monster appears and wipes out her clan, wipes out her allies. Anyone alive is scattering for their lives. It's just pandemonium, and Eska flees. There was a mission in there, I think it was like secure her clan's safety, which failed. So she got very close to the end of that after making all these alliances. That was it. I tested the end of the mission, and she got like critical fails on it. That was what happened. Yeah, so it didn't just fail, it failed completely, and the like oracle I got was she loses the things she cares about most, something like that. And it just worked in my head, canon, it just worked out that that's what happened. And it was cool, because it was a good storyline. And that's where that left off. She's still there. She has a mission to now kill the Arch Sorcerer, Oh, and it turned out it wasn't an arch sorcerer. Yeah, it turned out it was just a dwarf. It was just a follower. It was not Grungli. He had a different storyline. It was another dwarf who was just like some crazy lunatic. We don't know what his deal is yet. We haven't heard from him. She hasn't found him yet. She just hears these things. It was part of the plans that she found at Fell Glen. And that is where we leave her off, bereft, with her demon hound companion, searching for the thing that had corrupted her sister and led her people down this horrible trail. Yeah, so you didn't get to hear that story either, because I didn't record any of it. But now you know. So what's going to happen next? I do have a couple of other games lined up. I do want to start playing 5 Leagues. I do want to start playing 5 Parsecs. 5 Parsecs was actually the very first thing I was going to do on this channel, and then I decided to start with this. I do have like an intro video that's been sitting on, not my laptop, on my desktop for like 2.5 years now. So I might start doing some of that stuff. And I will do another video, I think, just to close off Grungli storyline, because he went to some crazy places. Yeah, he went to a whole other dimension. He met this crazy Fey queen and her consort, and it ends up with some crazy like kaiju battle at the very end of it. It's pretty crazy. So I will do a video of that similar to the Arch Sorcerer 1 that I started it off with, and we'll just close out that channel. Yeah, so it was a bit sad that all that happened with the video, but stuff happens. Just roll on with it, and I think I'll start this up again, because I don't like just playing these games and not having a record of the stories. Stories are cool, even if they're recorded in a really shitty way. Alright, that's it. Bye-bye.